Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host, Ryan Upson, and we're doing actually today quite a lot of elephants that is in the room, especially when you look at your cryptos. There's still a big question mark there. And then your crude oil inventories that will be out also today at about 5:30. That one will be massive. And then your natural gas prices, as I said in the comments below, that is about to drop very hard, and I will actually break that down for you. That is actually some good profit that you can make there. That natural gas prices can go down, but please, you must actually keep in mind you still have the US, sort of the NATO and Ukraine story that's on the line. But as things stands now, it looks like natural gas price can drop actually further. And then we have tomorrow's big news, which will be the inflation number of the United States that can actually push up gold prices and also create some havoc into the market. But let's start actually with cryptos, because also I got a question yesterday when it gets to cryptos. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, and please drop your questions in comments, and then I will definitely answer them. Also with your cryptos, look, as I said, there was a podcast that I had last year where your cryptos actually went down. Every time at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, cryptos is actually going down. There's a lot of different reasons why they say that the cryptos are going down at the end of the year and the beginning of the year. But it's all to do with demand and supply. And I think the big guys are pulling out their money. That is by the end of the year. And that's why the cryptos are actually going down. So for now, for cryptos to go further down, I basically don't think so. I think that it's done. Every time it's doing that at the end of the year, cryptos goes down, and then it just goes further on February, March, and all of those things, and then cryptos just go back up. So I think that fear of cryptocurrencies are going down. I think that is done. But please don't forget that for me, it looks like a cycle because it's now for the last 3 years or the last 3 to 5 years where it actually always go down at the end of the year. So for this year, please don't forget, by the end of the year, your cryptos are going down. And I'm not sure what is the reason. I just think it's just the big guys that are actually going out. And then there was someone that asked me a question, will cryptos go up in time of war? Now, it depends. If it's a world war, then there's no evidence about cryptos. Only thing that I know is the world war, your commodity prices are going down, and then your safe havens go up. That is the United States, the Japanese yen, and then also the Swiss franc that is going up. But there's no evidence of cryptos trading during a world war. So I basically don't look. We are not sure will we get a war. It looks like we will get a war, but there is no evidence that say that cryptos will go up in time of actually a world war. So I hope I answered your question there. Then we have your crude oil inventories that will be actually out at about 5:30 today. Now, just actually to give you a heads up here, your crude oil inventories is actually, the forecast is 1.5 million. The previous was actually at a negative million. So obviously, if your crude oil inventories are actually, say, for example, 2 million plus 2 million, then obviously your oil prices or your crude oil prices will definitely go down if it's actually above your forecast. If it's lower, then definitely goes up. But I think the same way it goes to natural gas, actually, I think your natural gas prices are about to go down. Your oil prices may actually go up because there's still a lot of demand that goes on. But as they say, it's actually getting the cold period in the United States is over. Normally it peaks in January. So that period is basically done. So that's why your natural gas prices are actually going down, because it's no longer so cold in the United States, or I would say in the Northern Hemisphere. That is what they forecast for the next weeks ahead in the United States. Things may change, but as it stands for this week and next week, it looks like the temperatures will actually improve and it will get hotter. And that's why your natural gas prices are going down. On the oil side, that depends also now on the whole story of Iran, or the Iran and the United States that actually are basically in talks with the nuclear story. And it looks like Iran will pump out more oil, and that can push actually the prices of oil down. That is actually what's currently happening. That's why the oil prices are going down. That's why your gas prices is dropping, because it's getting a bit hot, and there's negotiations that actually goes on in Washington with the Iranians and also with the United States. Then we have tomorrow, which is the last one. It is actually the inflation number of the United States. That one will be out tomorrow. Let me go down. Sorry. Yeah, the CPI will be released at 3:30 tomorrow. That will actually push up the US inflation to about 7%. That is what the forecasts are saying. They say actually, yeah, 0.4% for CPI and a 0.5%. That is actually for your core CPI. So for CPI, it looks like we will see about 7% inflation year on year in the United States. And that, if it actually comes out higher than what is forecast, then definitely you will get actually a spike in gold prices, and also you might see actually a weaker US dollar, or you could see actually a positive US dollar, because then it looks like the Federal Reserve will actually lift up the interest rates. They could lift it actually more aggressively if the inflation number, for example, come out 7.4% or maybe 7.5%. Look, there's a lot of factors that goes in there. It is winter. Gas prices went up, oil prices went up, so inflation numbers could actually be a bit hotter what they actually forecast. Lastly, on the South African front, this is a disaster. In South Africa's problem, there is actually new minimum wage laws that comes into effect in March. So minimum wages will actually improve, or actually will increase. That is now in March, and that is what the labor minister was saying, that the minimum wages go up. I don't know how pathetic can our government be and not see that when you push up minimum wages or introduce minimum wage laws, then definitely you will get this. This is what you get when you actually push up minimum wage laws. And these idiots of the government of South Africa don't understand it. It is not rocket science. You just have to look at the chart, and then you will see that the more minimum wages you put up, that is where unemployment actually increases. Simple as that. That is actually what the chart is showing here. I'm actually just going to use this one, forget my face away there. This is actually the unemployment rate in South Africa. That is at 34.9%. The minimum wages is 23.1. That is now South African rands, and that is also at yellow. And then we see actually unemployment rate that is now for the youth. Now, if you can see here, the introduction of minimum wages, this is the graph here. It went up, and then you see your unemployment rate. Okay, this is just the COVID story, but then it just skyrockets up. And then you can see again, your youth unemployment also is just increasing after that minimum wage decision. When they introduced minimum wage, it sounds good, but it's actually a bullshit policy. As simple as that. It is a crap policy. It just actually increased the unemployment rate. There's a lot of South Africans who didn't finish school. I think it's about 200 to 400,000 kids that don't finish school. So where the hell will those people actually get work? Nowhere, because of minimum wages. The reason is that when you have someone with no skills, you will definitely not employ him at that price. That is very important, at that price, because one, you need to pay for that person's training. You need to look after that person. That person will make mistakes. So what you will do at that price, you will rather look for someone with experience before he will actually that person with experience will rather get the job, and not the person without experience, because you will not take your risk with someone who doesn't have experience. That's why that people without experience, who didn't finish school, all of those things, will not get a job. As simple as that. As long as they push up with these minimum wage laws, there will be just more unemployment in South Africa. We can expect about another additional 200,000 job losses, just because of the introduction of new minimum wage laws. The bloody idiots never listen, and that's why we're sitting with this catastrophe. So that is it from my side for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Tomorrow is the inflation news. I'll definitely actually bring that for you, and what is the side effects of that. So please be actually alert on that news at 3:30 tomorrow, which will be inflation news. And also, you have the 5:30 news, which is the crude oil inventories. If it's good news, definitely you can jump into oil. If it's bad news, just actually basically sell oil basically further. So that is it from my side. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and then I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time at 4 o'clock. Bye-bye.